okay, the fun part about this program, okay, it's not a scripted studio show, right? Where it's very formal and we look into the camera and we talk, and all that. It's a radio and TV show. There are times where, like yesterday, a fly comes up on the set and it's bugging us and we have to still do the interview and then we try and get rid of the fly, whatever. Today, I tried to move our microphone for our guest, Mike Littlewood, joining us now, and I broke it. So right now, Ryan, our floor director, they've tried to tape this on, and he's actually holding it up.
This is how we go.
This is what's going on.
A rising shout to Ryan for holding up the microphone. And BYU Baseball coach Mike Littlewood.
This is called. I can already see his forearm shaking over there.
It's gonna be a while.
Can hold.
It's gonna be and it broke. Yeah, it broke earlier. Listen though, that would have broke live. That would have been even worse. So was I doing us a favor? No, I just broke it.
Thank you, Jaron, for breaking the microphone.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Coach Littlewood, the BYU Baseball coach, Mike Littlewood.
Actually, we are going to give you the official distinction of being our all-star correspondent, as well as the BYU Baseball coach. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, worst correspondent ever, but yeah, I'll do it. Let's go.
Let's see what you got.
Okay, we're going to test your knowledge. First of all, do you know how many home runs you hit in your BYU career?
No, I don't. Right around probably 20.
That brings us to the stat of the day.
It's the BYU Sports Nation stat of the day.
We got some music going, Coach.
36. Mike Littlewood hit 36 home runs in his BYU career,
idea.
Including 31 your combined junior and senior year, 18 your senior year.
Wow, I'm better than I thought I was. Nice. I knew my senior year was decent, but I try to forget the rest of the year, so that's nice.
How did you get through the season with a corked bat your senior year? How did that happen?
Yeah, it's all about just manufacturing. You got to do it in the right way. Actually, back then we would try to take the caps off, and this is during practice, not games. We would try to take the caps off, put super balls in there, do anything we could to try to get a little bit more pop. Yeah. Back then, you could hit the ball, you just make decent contact, and the ball would go over, almost land in the Marriott Center parking lot. The bats have changed so much nowadays, but that's how we did it. Yeah, super balls.
The all-star in our hearts, Mike Littlewood, BYU baseball coach, joining us.
And the bat is different now. The bat is not wood, but it hits like it's wood, right?
Yeah.
The NCAA changed that a couple years ago.
Yeah, the coefficient of restitution, and you can ask somebody what that means. All I know is the ball comes off the bat a lot slower than it used to, and it's very similar to a wood bat nowadays.
Interesting. Do you like that change?
I like it. I mean, as a coach, I like it. It puts a little bit more strategy in the game, and it puts the short game in it a little bit more. You have to bunt earlier in some games, and you have to really teach the short game nowadays, because back then it was really Earl Weaver, 3-run home run. How you doing?
Yeah, I was just looking at Ryan like, you doing okay down there holding the mic up?
Ryan's holding the mic. Yeah.
How's your arm doing, Ryan? It's good. Okay.
Very good.
We've never had this.
This is fantastic. Okay, so Jerem's done some research, and it turns out he's a huge fan of yours, Coach.
Listen, you went to the minors. You were drafted by the Brewers. You had a great season in the huge fan of the Beloit Brewers. I thought you had some epic battles with the Kenosha Twins and the Rockford Expos.
Yeah, Madison White. I don't know what they were.
All those teams, they were great. Chris Castles was great that year. Dave Nilsson was awesome.
Dave Nilsson was from Australia.
What was it like to play on that Beloit Brewers team in '88, Coach?
I can't really remember. It was such a blur. And I did so bad that they said, hey, go try coaching. And that was probably the biggest blessing of my life. So, I think the 1 year that I played in pro ball really gave me just a firsthand experience of how to treat guys now, and maybe some experiences that I had, and just be able to relate what it's going to be like. And it helped with my son Marcus, and just telling him it's not going to be easy out there. Everybody thinks it's glamorous, and I mean the minor leagues is probably the least, and especially in baseball, the least glamorous thing you could ever do. And it's like Groundhog Day. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and you have to love the game. And I don't really think that I would have been able to offer that perspective if I wouldn't have done it myself. So even though it was 1 year and I hit below the Mendoza line, probably threw more balls away than I should have, it was a great experience.
I have you down for 2 home runs, 181.
Yeah, well, it probably was. I thought 3, but no, we'll go with 2.
Hey, baseball reference, come on.
But the one was in Burlington. One of the 2. One was in Burlington. I hit a sign and won a steak dinner.
Oh, nice!
For me and my wife.
That's a big deal in the minors, right?
It was huge. Yeah, we got our lunch stolen one day out of our car in Clinton, Iowa, where my son's playing right now. And that was our entire lunch or meal for the day. And I mean, it was like borrow money. It was tough times, but awesome times as you look back on them.
That's amazing. And your son Marcus, you mentioned playing minor league ball
the
right
same
now.
team you played on, or same area?
He's in a city that was in the Midwest League that we played in. It was the Giants back then. He's with the Mariners in A ball right now. But yeah.
And he was part of like an historic comeback earlier this year. He hit a big home run in extra innings. For those that don't know that story, what was it like from your perspective being his father? Tell us the story.
Well, it was amazing. I was actually doing some work for BYU Baseball at my house on my computer and just doing some organizational stuff. And they're down 17-3 in the 6th inning. And usually I would just turn it off and do something else and not even listen to it. But my phone was just sitting there next to me, and so I decided let's just keep it on. And all of a sudden, I was listening on and off, but doing my work. And then all of a sudden, he's up. It's like 17-8 and 17-10, and all of a sudden, he's up, bases loaded, top of the 9th, and a grand slam could tie it with 2 outs, and he hits a grand slam. ties the game. It's 17-17. They go on and win it in 22 innings or some crazy or whatever, however many innings it was. Made Sports Illustrated and all the talk shows, and as well as he did in the first half, he's struggling right now. But I mean, what a great thing to go through and get your picture in Sports Illustrated, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I want to pause this conversation for just a moment. Breaking news: FBSschedules.com says that per the Conference USA Media Guide, the Miami Beach Bowl will be Monday, December 22nd at 2 Eastern Time on ESPN.
It's a Monday.
So waiting for BYU to announce that, but the Conference USA Media Guide is saying the game is December 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right.
On ESPN.
We think we know now, right?
Okay.
According to FBS schedules, and they're usually pretty good. Mike Littlewood, the head baseball coach of BYU, joining us right now. Coach, let's address the current state of BYU baseball. You're approaching now year 3 as the head man. Your first year you came in like a whirlwind, took a team that I guess wasn't expected to do much, took them to the West Coast Conference tournament, nearly upset San Diego there. And then last year, because you had such a great season, you lose a number of key players, and Hanneman and Brugman and Adam Law. And so you kind of have a rebuilding mode. Where is BYU baseball right now entering year 3?
Well, I think what you said is perfect. I feel like we're trying to start from the ground up and bring guys in here who are going to do it for us long term. We love the guys who have committed to us. A lot of young kids who are years away from being on campus, but really, really good players. Guys coming back off missions. With the core guys we have, it was kind of like last year was kind of like the perfect storm. We just needed bodies. Got a lot of junior college guys. Some worked out, some didn't. But it is ground level, working our way towards getting athletes in here, and it'll happen. I mean, we all feel really good about the direction we're going.
What changes do you make in year 3, given the kind of different personnel, and now these are kind of all your guys for the most part?
Yeah, I think it's all about getting the athletes in here. There's no doubt about it. College athletics is all about recruiting and then doing as much coaching as you can with those guys. But we're going to stick with our system, with our game plan, which means we want to try to be perfect in practice and really just do all the mechanical things we can correctly, and then go let them play. But it comes down to pitching and hitting and defense, and I'd like to see our guys play loose and free. I think last year we were a little bit tight, kind of a couple guys underachieved, and then everybody felt like they had to do everything. So maybe create a little bit lighter atmosphere, and I think you'll see a different, really, really exciting team come in. We're waiting. Colton Mahoney was drafted by the Brewers.
Yeah, we were going to ask you about
what happened there. Did he sign?
He hasn't signed yet. He has until, I believe it's July 18th, so it's coming up.
Okay.
Is the signing deadline. It used to be, in the past, the team would have their rights for an entire year and be able to sign them the next year. Now they just shorten that, which is good for the players. And then Tanner Chauncey. So I think Colton will end up coming back to us. And if he has a great year next year, I think he could be a top 3-round pick. I mean, he's got that kind of stuff. And then Tanner Chauncey was also drafted on his mission and by the Dodgers, and I believe he's going to come back here as well next year. So 2 really good players that were drafted that are going to come back. And again, we love the guys we've got coming in. It's going to be an exciting year, I think. So
how much, when you're talking to a guy like Colton, how much do you rely on your experience, having played that 1 year in the minors, to kind of talk to him about a situation that he probably would encounter as a 23rd round pick?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of conversations. We sat down with his parents many times, and the thing with the Colton, we were just trying to tell him to put some value on himself, and I really felt like next year, come back off a mission as a pitcher, even though he had some really, really good outings, a no-hitter.
Yeah, they're a no-hitter.
Yeah, I mean, that was as good as he could possibly be. 3 pitches for strikes and throwing at 92, 94. If he does that every outing next year, not throws no-hitters, but he's got that kind of stuff, he's going to be invaluable to a professional organization. And it's kind of weird. If you're drafted in the 30th round by a professional organization, they can get rid of you just like that. But if you're drafted in the top 3 rounds, they're going to give you a chance to play. And so those are kind of the conversations we tried to have with him. And who knows, the Brewers might come with a ton of money, and it might be a great deal for him to sign. And obviously, you look back last year with Adam Miller and Adam Law and Jacob Hanneman and Jacob Brugman, who are all doing tremendous this year in pro ball. If it feels right to Colton, he wants to sign, we're all for it. I think that helps your program to have guys sign professionally and be successful. Incoming kids want that. But at the same time, we want him to get the most value out of his signing bonus. And that's really important in baseball because I think you're going to make about $1,100 a month in the minor leagues only for the time you're playing, 6 months out of the year.
Wow.
Don't get paid during spring training. So it's a tough life. You got to have some money put away to be able to survive.
Let's finish with this, our Twitter question today. Who will be BYU's biggest home run or big play threat this year? We're talking about an athlete in BYU sports.
Any sport.
Well, I'm going to stick with baseball, and I love a kid coming in for us, Colton Shaver. He's from Jordan High School, and he's got the most raw power of any high school senior that's graduating this year. I mean, he's a guy who, with these bats that we have, could consistently hit him up on the Marriott Center Road. I don't know the address, but he's got that kind of power. Now, whether he can translate that to hit college pitching, we don't know yet, but he's going to be an exciting player for us. I just being a baseball coach, I want to stick with baseball and say it's going to be a baseball guy. It's going to have a great year.
Okay, naturally with home run, right?
Mark it down.
We teased the All-Star game. We didn't even talk about the All-Star game. Another time, I guess.
Yeah, well, we can ask you prediction tonight. Who wins the All-Star game?
All-Star game tonight or tomorrow night? Tonight? Is it tonight?
Yeah.
This is our All-Star.
This is my correspondent. Honestly, I'm the worst MLB guy in the world because I don't watch Major League Baseball. But I'm an American League guy, so I got to go American League.
Okay.
So
good man.
Little controversy with Clayton Kershaw not starting tonight with Wainwright. I think starting for the National League
King
team.
Felix is starting. I'm a
King
Mariners
Felix,
guy, so
with the Mariners, How
golden.
can you go wrong with that? Absolutely.
Hey, Mike, great to talk to you again. Thanks for the update.
Thanks, Vince.
We'll fix the microphone, man.
I'm good. I like this. This is good.
We had a sub come in and hang out. Nice work.
Thanks, guys.
Biceps are muscly.